Heading to Arsenal after agreeing a £67.5 million move with Crystal Palace for the England international. So then, Mark, give us the state of play.
Like you rightly say, huge deal for Arsenal, £67.5 million for that man who had 2 years left on his Crystal Palace contract. That's a guaranteed payment of £60 million with add-ons at £7.5 million, which, ironically, is less than his release clause, which expired on Friday. Oliver Glasner took great delight in telling everyone that the release clause had expired. It turned out it didn't make too much of a difference with regards to this man's departure. We're expecting his Arsenal medical to happen tomorrow, and personal terms, not an issue because there's been talks between Eberechi's representatives and, of course, Arsenal over the course of this summer. So just a case, really, of a final farewell at Crystal Palace in what has been a really turbulent 24 hours in North London.
Yeah, very.
More to add, or?
Yeah, a lot.
He's shell-shocked.
A lot, Rob. No, look, this is the transfer window. You know, I got asked yesterday, is this the most exciting window I can remember? And look, it's a real blow for Spurs fans. I think, look, it feels like Emmanuel Petit too, you know, when he was negotiating with Spurs and then he got a taxi to Arsenal. There was that fear. I was thinking it yesterday when we heard the news that Kai Havertz had suffered this injury. Why aren't Arsenal going back in for him? So that when we got the information later that day, I've got to be honest, I wasn't massively surprised. But obviously Spurs fans are distraught now and time is ticking because they need to bring players in.
A big part of the story has been Tottenham against Arsenal, but there is another London club very much involved in this, which is Crystal Palace, who are in action in the Conference League tonight. Gary Cottrell is at Selhurst Park for us. It is a slightly strange scenario, given we know where he's going, Gary, as to whether or not he will play one last time for Palace tonight.
Yeah, it's happened to Spurs again, hasn't it? I remember Willian. I was outside Willian having his medical for Spurs, and he drove away from the medical and then diverted to Chelsea. So, yeah, not the first time that Tottenham have been left in the lurch by a midfielder. Listen, I think he will play tonight. I know there are reports emerging suggesting that Eze may well not play tonight, but I still think that he will. Let's not forget there were reports 24 hours before he played for Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge on Sunday that he wouldn't be playing. He turned up, he started, he scored, the goal was disallowed, and he was giving his all for the team during that game. And I think the same will happen tonight for several reasons. The first